Dear students, in the last video lecture, I discussed superposition theorem and reciprocity theorem. In this lecture, I am going to discuss two most important theorem of network theory, that is Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem. So let's start with Thevenin's theorem. What is Thevenin's theorem? It says that any linear, active and bilateral network can be replaced by an single equivalent voltage source with a single equivalent resistance or impedance connected in series with it. This single equivalent voltage source is the voltage across open circuited load terminal, and the single equivalent resistance is the resistance seen across the open circuited load terminal. What does it mean? It means, suppose we are having a complex network. Suppose we are having the network like this. We are having the network like this. Clear? And now across this network a load resistance RL is connected. Across this network a load resistance RL is connected. This is your complex network. Now this Thevenin's theorem says that whatever be the network given to you, you can replace this network. You can convert this network into a single equivalent voltage source with an equivalent impedance connected in series with it. Clear? That means this large network will be replaced by this small network, and now we can connect the load resistance RL and we can do the further calculations. Clear? So let us see. If you are applying the Thevenin's theorem in any network, then there must be some conditions so that we can apply network theorem or Thevenin's theorem. So it is saying that the linear, active and bilateral network. That means I am writing the conditions. First condition is network should be linear, active and bilateral. Network should be linear, active and bilateral. Second condition is network should not be coupled magnetically or optically with the load. Network should not be coupled magnetically or optically with the load. Clear? Third condition is the load network can have dependent source, but it should not depend on the main network. It should not depend on the main network. What does it mean? It means, suppose the load is also an electrical network. I am deleting this one. Suppose the load is also an electrical network. If the load is also an electrical network, then suppose this is the network and across this network a load is connected. Now you may see that the load is like this one. Load can also be like this one. Suppose this is current I1 and I1 is the current flowing in this branch. So it is saying that the load can have dependent source, but its magnitude of the dependent source should not depend on network, primary network or main network. Clear? Because you are going to write the Thevenin's equivalent of this network. So the value of here, the I1 or whatever be the value it is, it should not depend on this one. Clear? So these conditions must satisfy. Next, network can have initial conditions, but it needs to be set to 0. It needs to be set to 0. This network can have initial conditions, but when you are drawing the Thevenin's model, then you will have to set it to 0. You will have to set it to 0. Clear? So now I am drawing the Thevenin's model. Now I am drawing Thevenin's model. Thevenin's model. The Thevenin's model is like this one. This is VTH, this is RTH, this is the open circuited load terminal. Clear? Here VTH is called Thevenin's voltage and RTH is called Thevenin's resistance. RTH is called Thevenin's resistance. Now your question, you may arise one question that why Thevenin's model is like this one only? Why Thevenin's model is like this one only? This is because you are replacing a complex network into a single voltage source, single practical voltage source. So if it is practical voltage source, then its resistance will always be connected in series with the battery. Clear? So that's why its model is like this one. Clear? Now if you connect the load, suppose you are connecting a load resistance RL, then what will happen? The current I will start flowing through this network. Now this current I will be equal to VTH divided by sum of RTH plus RL. VTH divided by RTH plus RL. Clear? Or if you have to find the output voltage V0 across the load, so V0 will be equal to here VTH into RL divided by RTH plus RL. Clear? This will be the output voltage V0. Clear? Now let us write the steps to find Thevenin's model. Steps to find Thevenin's model. Let's write the steps to find Thevenin's model. What are the steps? First step is open the load. Open the load. Open the load. That means if the network is given to you, suppose this network is given to you, this is a network, and here you have been given a load resistance RL. Then what is the first step? First step is we have to open the load. Clear? You have to open the load. So once you open the load, then what you have to do? Once you open the load, then in the second step, find open circuited voltage by circuit analysis. Find open circuited voltage by circuit analysis. This voltage is called VTH or Thevenin's voltage. Third step, find resistance seen from open circuited load terminal. Fourth step, draw Thevenin's network and compute load current. Compute load current by connecting the load. By connecting the load, draw the Thevenin's network and compute load current by connecting the load. So these are the steps to solve Thevenin's theorem. So next, let us solve some numerical questions based on Thevenin's theorem. So let us see the first question. It was asked in GATE 2005 for 2 marks. The question is given. Some network is given to you, P, Q, 10 ohm. This is also 10 ohm, 4 volt, 20 ohm. You have to find Thevenin's voltage and Thevenin's resistance. You have to find VTH and RTH. So let us see how to find. See, this is the linear active bilateral network. Clear? This is the load. So what is the first step? First step, we have to remove the load. So I am removing the load and drawing the circuit. The circuit will be like this one, P, Q. Voltage across this terminal will be VTH. This is 10 ohm, 4 volt. This is 20 ohm. So now what do you see? Here the voltage across this terminal is 4 volt. If this voltage is 4 volt, now you have to find the voltage across this one. You see that this voltage is being divided into 2 branches of equal resistance. So VTH will be equal to how much? VTH will be simply 4 divided by 2. That means 2 volt. You can directly write VTH will be equal to 2 volt. Next you have to find RTH. To find RTH, again you will have to take the open circuited network. This is 10 volt, 10 ohm. This is 4 volt. This is 20 ohm. This is P, Q. You have to find RTH. So what you'll have to do? You will have to deactivate independent sources. So I am deactivating. This voltage source will be replaced by short circuit. This voltage source will be replaced by short circuit. Once this voltage source will be replaced by short circuit, now there won't be any importance of this resistance because it is connected in parallel with a short circuit branch having zero resistance. So you can see that these two resistors are connected in now parallel. You can redraw the network like this one. This is RTH. This is 10 ohm. This is also 10 ohm. So here RTH will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 10 parallel, that means 5 ohm. So your answer is 2 volt and 5 ohm. So you can see how easy question was asked in GATE 2005 based on Thevenin's theorem. Next, remember one more thing. Somebody can ask you that you are defining the linear network should be linear, active and bilateral. Clear? Now somebody is asking you that the load is given to you. So is it necessary that the load should also be linear, active and bilateral? No. The linear, active and bilateral condition is applicable to the network, primary network where you are applying Thevenin's theorem. You are not concerned with the load. The load can be unilateral element, load can be passive element. So there is no any condition with load. So let's solve one more problem. Let us solve one more problem asked in GATE 2009. It was asked in GATE 2009. See the question, and here I give you some trick to solve the questions. This is A and B. This resistance is 1 kilo ohm. This resistance is 2 kilo ohm. This is plus minus 3 VAB. This is plus minus VAB. This is 5 volt. This is 2 kilo ohm. This is 2 kilo ohm. Now what you have to do? You have to find VTH and RTH. You have to find VTH and RTH. So what will be the value of VTH? Here you see the load is already open circuited. So VAB will be equal to VTH. VAB will be equal to VTH. So here you can write 3VAB can be written as 3VTH. 3VAB can be written as 3VTH. Clear? So now we have to find the value of VTH. So let us see how to find. See, this is the ground terminal. This is the ground terminal. If this potential is VTH, so this potential will also be plus minus VTH. That means if the potential of this point is 0, then a potential of VTH, a battery of VTH being added. So here the potential of this point will be VTH. Potential of this point will be VTH. Next, come to this network. When you are coming from right to left, see, you see that you are getting one more voltage source having potential 3 VTH. You are getting one more battery. Here you have already one battery, its potential is VTH, and here you are getting 3 VTH. So what will be the potential of this point? This point potential, these two battery will be added. So here potential will be 4 VTH. Here the potential will be 4 VTH. So we can write the potential of this point will be equal to 4 VTH. This is the shortcut that you have to apply here to solve the question in single step. Now what can you do? You know the potential of this point, so you can apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node by applying KCL. So if you are applying Kirchhoff's current law, you know there are three branches. So the branch current here, there are three currents. Let us assume all are the outgoing branches. So here what will be the value of current in this branch? Here potential is 5 volt because of this battery. So here it will be 4 VTH minus 5 divided by 5. 4 VTH minus 5 divided by 2K. 4 VTH minus 5 divided by 2K plus here the current will be 4 VTH minus 0 divided by 2K plus. Now don't confuse in finding the current of this branch. You see that here the load is open circuited. The current flowing through this branch will flow through this branch also. So the current flowing through this branch, if you can calculate this current, so this current will be equal to this current. Clear? So how to calculate this current? Again here you see the current is VTH minus 0 divided by 1K. It will be equal to 0. So take the LCM. You will write 4 VTH minus 5 plus 4 VTH plus 2 VTH equal to 0. That means 10 VTH equal to 5. That means VTH is coming 0.5 volt. VTH is coming 0.5 volt. Clear? VTH is coming 0.5 volt. Next, second step, you have to find RTH. You have to find RTH. For RTH, what you will have to do? This is already open circuited network, so you will have to deactivate this source. So I am deactivating the source. This voltage will be replaced by short circuit. There will be a resistance. There will be a resistance. There will be a resistance. Clear? Now here we will have to connect a voltage source V. Current flowing through this battery will be I. Current flowing through this battery will be I. Now since you have changed the circuit, you have connected a battery, so this terminal, this potential will be changed. So here the potential is V. So here this potential will be 3V. Here the potential will be 3V. Two resistors are connected, 2 kilo ohm. This is also 2 kilo ohm. This is 1 kilo ohm. 1 kilo ohm. Clear? So now how to solve? You see one thing, that these two resistances are connected in parallel. So you can replace by a single resistance. That means 2K will be in parallel. So its value will be 1K. Its value will be 1K. Now see, this potential is 0. This potential is 0. This potential is 0. This potential is V. Then this potential also be V. So here it will be V. So if this potential is V, then this potential will be 4V. This potential will be 4V. So now apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node. If you are applying Kirchhoff's current law, see this current I is incoming current. So I will be equal to sum of outgoing currents. Outgoing currents, there is one branch, there is another branch. This branch current will be V minus 0 by 1K. V minus 0 by 1K plus, if you calculate this current, so here you see the potential is 0 volt. Here potential is 4 volt. So here it will be 4 divided by 1K plus 4V divided by 1K. 4V divided by 1K. That means I is equal to 5V divided by 1K. I is equal to 5V divided by 1K. From here you write V by I will be equal to 0.2K. So this is the value of RTH. This is the value of RTH. So you can see how easily you have calculated VTH and RTH. Clear? So second problem is clear. Let's discuss another question. Let's discuss one more question on Thevenin's theorem. Let us discuss one more question on Thevenin's theorem. See, this question was asked in GATE 2013 in instrumentation, electronics and electrical branch. See this question. Now this is the question of AC circuit. Clear? This current is I1. The voltage is Vs given 100 at the angle 53.13 degree. The resistances are 3 ohm and J4 ohm. This voltage is plus minus VL1. This voltage is plus minus VL1 and this is J40 I2. This is J40 I2. I2 is current flowing in this loop. Here it is 10V L1. 10V L1. This is J6 ohm. This is 3 ohm and this is RL equal to 10 ohm. Now you have to find VTH. You have to find VTH. So let us see how to find VTH. Find VTH. To find VTH, what we'll have to do? We'll have to open this load. We'll have to open this load. So I am redrawing the network. I am redrawing the network. Don't confuse if complex network is given. Even if the network is complex, it is very easy to find Thevenin's voltage or Thevenin's resistance. J6 ohm, 3 ohm. This will be plus minus VTH, open circuited load terminal. Now this current will be I2 dash plus minus 10 VL1. Here it is 3 ohm, J4 ohm plus minus VL1 dash. Since you have made one change in the network, so here it will be VL1 will be replaced by V dash L1, I2 dash will be replaced as I2 will be replaced as I2 dash. So here it will be J40 I2 dash, J40 I2 dash. This current will be I1 dash and this current will be I1 dash. This is 100 at the angle 53.13 degree. This is 100 at the angle 53.13 degree. Clear? 100 at the angle 53.13 degree. Now we have to find VTH. So let us see how to find VTH. Let us see how to find VTH. You see, once this terminal is open circuited, so I2 dash will be equal to 0. If I2 dash is become 0, then this potential will become how much? This complete set will become equal to 0. This complete set will become equal to 0. That means this voltage source will be, its value will be 0. So you can make it short circuit now. You can make it short circuit now. Clear? Next, the current coming out through this value, this network is 0. This current is 0 because this is open circuited network. So VTH will be equal to this voltage. VTH will be equal to this voltage, that means 10 V dash L1. So we need to find V dash L1. So what will be the value of V dash L1? You see I1 dash current is flowing through this network. So we'll have to calculate I1 dash. I1 dash will be equal to 100 at the angle 53.13 degree divided by 3 plus J4. So its value is 20. So I1 dash, its value will be nothing but 20 at the angle 0 degree ampere. If you calculate, its value will be 20 at the angle 0 degree ampere. So once you got I1 dash, you can write, once you got I1 dash, you can write VL1. You can write VL1 dash. So VL1 dash will be equal to how much? I1 dash into J4. This voltage drop will be nothing but reactance into current. So here it is 20 into J4. That means it is equal to 80 J80 volt. VTH is coming J80 volt. So once you got the value of VTH, sorry, VL1 dash, this is J80 volt. Next, you can easily write VTH. So VTH will be equal to how much? VTH will be equal to 10 VL dash, that means J 800 volt, or you can also write it 800 at the angle 90 degree volt. 800 at the angle 90 degree volt. This will be the answer. This will be the answer of VTH, that is Thevenin's voltage. Clear? So next come to Norton's theorem. Next come to Norton's theorem. This is all about Thevenin's theorem. Next come to Norton's theorem. So I am writing the statement of Norton's theorem. You see, give the heading Norton's theorem. What is the statement of Norton's theorem? You see, any linear active and bilateral network can be replaced by a single current source with a single resistance or impedance connected across it. Connected across means parallel connection. Across means parallel connection. Next, see, the single current source is the current flowing through short circuited load terminal and single resistance is the resistance seen across the open circuited load terminal. Across the open circuited load terminal. This is saying that any linear active bilateral network can be replaced by a single current source with a single resistance connected across it. The single current source is the current flowing through short circuited load terminal. That means they are saying that if a complex network is given to you, suppose the complex network is given to you and load is also connected across this network. Now they are saying that this network can be replaced by a single current source with a single resistance connected across it, and now this resistance will be called Norton's resistance Rn. This current will be called Norton's current In. So now what they are saying? They are saying that what is Norton's current? Norton's current is nothing but the current flowing through short circuited load terminal. That means in the case of Thevenin's theorem, you used to open the load terminal, but in the case of Norton's theorem, you will have to short circuit the load terminal. That means we will short circuit the load terminal, clear, and we will calculate the current In by circuit analysis. This current will be Norton's current. This current will be Norton's current. Next, you have to find Norton's resistance. So for Norton's resistance, see here, it is given that see resistance seen across open circuited load terminal. That means here, if you are calculating Norton's resistance, then Norton's resistance will be the resistance seen across open circuited load terminal. That means you have no need to short circuit the load terminal at that time. So Norton's resistance and Thevenin's resistance both are equal. Norton's resistance and Thevenin's resistance both are equal. Clear? So when I write the steps, so first step is short circuit the load terminal, short circuit the load terminal and find Rn. Second one is open the load terminal, and find, here it is used to find In, find Rn. Clear? Third step, draw Norton's network and find load current. Draw Norton's network and find load current. Draw Norton's network and find load current. So these are the steps that to be followed. Second thing is, what should be the conditions of the circuit when you are applying Norton's theorem? So the conditions are same as previous one. That means the conditions which are valid for Thevenin's theorem, the same conditions are valid in the case of Norton's theorem. Actually, if you are using source transformation, then the Thevenin's network can be transformed into Norton's network, and Norton's network can be transformed into Thevenin's network. It means, suppose somebody is asking you to draw Norton's network, then what can you do? You can also draw a Thevenin's network, and by the source transformation, that means voltage will be replaced by current. So you can write Norton's network. You can write Norton's network. You can write Norton's network. Clear? That means if you are having VTH and RTH, you can replace it by Rn and In. Here In is equal to VTH divided by RTH, VTH by RTH, and Rn is equal to RTH. Clear? Similarly, if Norton's network is given to you, you can convert it into Thevenin's network. Here V Thevenin's will be equal to In into Rn, and I and R Thevenin's will be equal to Rn. R Thevenin's will be equal to Rn. Clear? So this is about Norton's theorem. So let's do some numerical question on Norton's theorem. So let's have a first question. It was asked in GATE 1997. The GATE 1997, it is given you are having a battery of 6 volt, resistance 3 ohm. This resistance is also 3 ohm. Next, you are having a current source of 2 ampere, and you are having a resistance of 3 ohm. The terminals are A and B. You have to find Norton's current and Norton's resistance. You have to find In and Rn. So let us see how to find. What you will have to do to find In? We'll have to short circuit the load terminal. So here this is the current source. This is resistance 333. The voltage is 6 volt. So what you do? We have to short circuit the load terminal. This current will be Norton's current. This current will be Norton's current. Clear? So now how can you solve? Here this terminal is potential 0 volt. That means ground terminal. It is short circuited at this point. So here also potential is 0 volt. So let us assume potential of this point as V and apply Kirchhoff's current law. Apply Kirchhoff's current law. So when you are applying Kirchhoff's current law, here the potential is 6 volt. So V minus 6 by 3 plus V minus 0 divided by 3 plus this current is 2 ampere. So this is 2 plus this current V minus 0 divided by 3 will be equal to 0. Will be equal to 0. Clear? From here you will get V equal to 0 volt. V equal to 0 volt. V equal to 0 volt. So once you get V equal to 0 volt, so what will be the value of Norton's current? Norton's current will be equal to IN. It will be equal to, see this current will be sum, you got the value 0 volt. So here the sum of these two currents will be the value of IN. So here it will be 2 plus this current 0 minus 0 divided by 3. 0 minus 0 divided by 3. That means IN is equal to 2 ampere. IN is equal to 2 ampere. Now you have to find the equivalent Norton's resistance. So what will you do? We'll deactivate the source. Deactivate the source and let us find the equivalent resistance through this terminal. So here these two are connected in parallel. 3 plus 3 it will become equal to 1.5 and plus 3 ohm will be in series. So Rn will be equal to 4.5 ohm. Rn will be equal to 4.5 ohm. Rn will be equal to 4.5 ohm. Clear? Rn is equal to 4.5 ohm. Let us do one more problem on Norton's theorem. This question was asked in GATE 2014 Electrical Engineering. X, Y, 5 ohm. This is 2.5 volt. This is 2.5 ohm. 5 ohm. 5 ohm. This is 5 volt. This is 5 volt. You have to find Norton's current. IN. So let us see how to find Norton's current. When you have to find Norton's current, you will have to short circuit the load terminal. So this is the load terminal. So we are going to short circuit this load terminal. This current will be IN. This will be Norton's current IN. Clear? So once this terminal is short circuited, so see here the potential across this resistance will also be 0. So there won't be any current flowing through this resistance. So there is no meaning of putting this resistor here. So we can remove this resistor because no current is flowing through this resistor. Clear? Next, see here the potential is 0 volt. Here it is short circuited, so potential is 0 volt. Clear? Now coming to this one, you are having a battery connected in opposite direction. That means when you move from this terminal to this terminal, there will be a potential drop of 2.5 volt. See the point clearly. When you are moving from this point to this point, there will be a potential drop of 2.5 volt because of this battery. So once there is potential drop, So if potential of this point is 0 volt, then potential of this point will be how much? Its potential will be equal to minus 2.5 volt. Its potential will be equal to minus 2.5 volt. Once you got the value of that potential, assume this value is V. So let us apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node. So by KCL, 0 volt, here it is 5 volt. So V minus 5 divided by 5 plus V minus 0 divided by 5 plus V minus, see here the potential is minus 2.5. So here we will have to write V minus 2.5 divided by the resistance is 2.5 will be equal to 0. So I am writing V by 5 minus 1 plus V by 5 plus V by 2.5, that means 2V by 5 minus plus 1 will be equal to 0. From here you get V equal to 0 volt. From here you get V equal to 0 volt. So once you got V equal to 0 volt, if this potential is 0 volt, now somebody is asking you to find this current IN, Norton's current. So Norton's current, how will you find? This point potential is 0 volt, this point potential is minus 2.5 volt. So there will be a current flowing from this point to this point. So this will be nothing but Norton's current, and it will be equal to 0 minus 2.5 divided by total resistance is 2.5. It will be equal to 1 ampere. So this is Norton's current. Clear? Let us discuss one more question on Thevenin's theorem. Let us discuss one more problem on Thevenin's theorem. Here it is sin omega t. Here the voltage applied is sin omega t. This question was asked in GATE 2014. It was asked in GATE 2014. Clear? Now they are asking you, they are saying this is the ideal transformer. You have to find V Thevenin's and Z Thevenin's. You have to find VTH and ZTH. So let us see how to find VTH and ZTH. Here the potential is sin omega t. And if this terminal is already open circuited, so when you refer the voltage of primary to secondary, then this voltage will be multiplied by this ratio, turns ratio. Here suppose this turns ratio is 1:2. Suppose here number of turns is 100. So here the number of turns is 200. Clear? That means if you write VTH will be nothing but 2 into sin omega t. Clear? VTH will be 2 into sin omega t. Now when you calculate impedance, so what will happen? Impedance, here it is 1 ohm in primary side. So when impedance is referred to secondary side, then the side which has more number of turns, more resistance will be there. And it will be how much? So it will be 1 into square of turns ratio, that means 2 square, that means 4 ohm. So you can see how easily you solve this question that was asked in GATE 2014 electrical engineering. I am again saying that for electronics engineering, instrumentation engineering and electrical engineering, the question of network theory, the concept of network theory are almost same. So the questions on any concept can be asked in these three branches if you are writing the paper of GATE. Clear? So in the next lecture, I'll discuss 10 to 15 more numerical questions on Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem, because these two are most important theorem, and you can expect every year you can expect at least 1-2 marks questions either from Thevenin's theorem or Norton's theorem. And remember one thing, if you attempt this question, if you are having the basic concept, that means if you are able to apply KCL and KVL, then you can very easily solve the questions of Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem.